How Bizarre is intended for mature, open-minded audiences only. If you are easily offended, we suggest you turn this wacky shit straight off.
Yeah, Bridget's stuck in traffic, so I just kind of set the like parenting of the year award. I just kind of set my kid up with the tablet downstairs, and I set up a security camera on him, and I have him on my phone so I can just watch him.
That's what we call single. Well, you qualify as a single parent, I think. Well,
Yeah,
you
well, I
kind
mean, I
of.
will be.
You're kind
Like
of, yeah.
50% of the time.
Some
Yeah.
of the time you're going to be single. And that is the single parent life in the modern world. And you'd be silly to not take advantage of technology.
Yeah.
And no, that's brilliant. When Sarah and I first met, she was pretty adamant about, avoiding screen time. And I think she owned, God, maybe she didn't even own a TV. They would watch movies on like their laptop occasionally, but it was pretty, there wasn't a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
I, as hard as I could, influenced her to ease up on that a bit. I mean, to some degree, because I think too many kids are spending way too much time on the screens. And I think it was good parenting of her to want to curtail that, but it's like, hey, you're making more work for yourself, really. Let them watch the fucking TV for a couple hours and go take care of you time. There's definitely a healthy balance.
They say that, some of the studies say that kids that get a lot of tablet time, younger kids especially, have a hard time focusing on things and stuff. And I can see it. Like, fuck, if I give my kid the tablet, he's just whizzing all over YouTube. He's just
they love
flying
YouTube.
around.
Them kids are all
he gets
about.
on YouTube. Yeah,
Well,
he
I'm
loves
curious.
it. There's a kids.
Sorry.
He watches like kids YouTube. So there's like a bunch of. It's mostly kids playing with toys. It's
Isn't that fucking crazy? That's all. That's what. Well, it's not all they want to watch, but the brilliant.
And they're in like Ukraine too. They're all Ukrainian kids.
That's interesting.
There's this show called Vlad and Nikki that my kid watches. He's always talking about fucking Vlad and Nikki like they're his real friends. Like, bitch, I'm your friend.
Bitch. Listen, you little bitch. I went ahead on and made you. Yeah, the Sarah's kids love to watch these unboxing shows.
Yeah.
Logan may be a little young for that, maybe not, but that's what they're obsessed with. Like just watching somebody open toys. And these, like the LOL dolls or LOL dolls. I'm probably going to sound out of touch with that if I say it wrong. But, and what else? Well, we've talked about those. Those are the ones that if you put them in water, sometimes they turn into S&M characters. Very strange. I still don't know what to think about that, but seems inappropriate. Mm-hmm. And you know me, I'm not exactly stodgy and puritanical based, but any of these surprise toys, that's all the rage right now. And then they brilliantly come with a little chart that says, here's what you have. It's from this category. And the first thing they're like, is it rare? Is it one of the rare ones? Tell me we got one of the rare ones. We had a version of this when we were younger, you always wanted a rare collectible thing, baseball cards, maybe comic books, whatever.
X-Men.
But this is all about, you open it up and get the surprise. That's the big thing.
Fucking hologram card, bitch. You know what I'm talking about.
And so, absolutely. So they will watch shows of this lady. Well, there's a ton of them. They're usually women. Excuse me. Opening these things. And they're like, oh, I hope it's so-and-so that they open next. And I'm like, this is an interesting phenomenon. Now, I got to admit, I see I don't think they realize that there is kind of, and maybe not necessarily an ASMR aspect, but there's something to that with the whole unboxing phenomenon in general, which it's kind of a strange thing to have become so huge. Like there are multimillionaires because they started YouTube channels where they just open shit. Yeah. It's fascinating to me that it's that big of a phenomenon, but I think it fires on a similar thing.
Have you seen the Ryan Loves Toys thing? I think we might have talked about this at one point. That kid that started the YouTube channel his parents did he just opens toys and has toy rooms, and then all of a sudden his parents were making millions of dollars off this YouTube channel, and they got like in trouble with tax man. Like they were doing tax shit.
One of the biggest things on Twitch for a while there was people were opening Pokemon cards, and they would find these boxes you know, from the 90s.
Pokemon's about as good as me saying LOL dolls. I'm pretty sure they're LOL
that's
dolls.
pretty good. Yeah.
It's not our generation at all.
No,
but like,
I missed out on that.
Dude, we're talking about $750,000 they pay for these
wild.
boxes, and then they open them all live, you know, on Twitch and stuff. And it just blew my mind because there'd be 100 to 200,000 people watching live at that time.
Yeah, well, those are kind of interesting because I suppose there's almost an element of those shows like Storage Wars and all that. Maybe it's firing on something like that. I don't know.
No, it's the same thing you're talking about. It's the who's going to get the prize? Who's going to get that?
Yeah.
that
I mean,
the special
totally.
Taco Cat. Wasn't that one of the?
I mean, we all played Magic. Didn't we all play Magic the Gathering at one point? I mean, like, can you imagine?
You guys did.
Watch a fucking stream.
Do you think that I ever played Magic the Gathering, Christopher?
Oh,
I played strip poker.
Yeah, sometimes I forget your nerd doesn't run quite as deep as ours.
No, not
the old D&D.
You were having sex and shit, and we're like, tap my mana to gain a fucking colorless land.
Like, tap my mana. Yeah, no, I didn't. I never got into any of that stuff. I can't think of anything that you could call me super nerdy about. There's got to be something. Yeah, but I mean, is that nerdy? That was just what you did back in the day, and then it became trendy, and now that's hipstery.
But what did you call me? Yeah, that's a different fucking.
More, I can't think of. I don't know. Some of the music I listen to is definitely nerdy. Like I don't mind people referring to Rush as nerd rock, or a lot of the shit that I listen to as nerd rock. I mean, it's basically the musical equivalent of Magic the Gathering. Some of this shit, you know this, Chris. You're a fan of, at least to some degree, of Dragon Force. We've talked about this on the old show. Sure. Yeah. What is that? Except isn't that like, I think it's like
isn't that
the soundtrack of
isn't there Magic like a thing called like mathcore?
I think mathcore is more. I think Rush would fall more under that than Dragon Force. Like Dragon Force would be, that's your power metal is your basic premise, but then the kids can't help themselves. They have to create new categories. I think what they called Dragon Force was video game music.
No.
Yeah.
Dragon Force, the one of the lead guitar players actually has a Twitch channel, and he plays on there all the time.
That's cool. I've never heard that if that's the case. But
or video game metal. I don't know where that came from other than maybe Dragon Force. I think most people know that name because of a video game. You know, it was on Guitar Hero or one of those bands.
Yeah, it was.
Through the it's not a song that I know. It's funny. I know some of their albums, but not that one. Through the Flames and the Fire or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like I
remember his name is Herman something or other.
Herman, yeah, it is Herman.
He's his own Twitch site where you could go on. He plays. Jeff
dude
Becker.
That dude is mathematical. He's a robot.
He's been doing crazy fundraiser for Jeff Becker. The guy, he's like sick and they're trying to raise a ton of money. I sent it to you guys on tax.
Jeff Becker.
Yeah, it was a fundraiser thing that for like 2 months he was playing with all these. He'd bring these guys into his house and jam, and he's got like 30 fucking guitars just laying around.
It's funny.
It's really cool to watch.
Talking today about buying a new guitar, and then I remembered I had $9 in the bank account. Oh, John Mark, you sound very feminine today. How come?
Hello, hi guys.
How does your background sound clearer than you do on your mic? Like was that Jen that we heard?
Yeah,
it sounded like she was talking into the mic. Well, welcome. We were talking. You're just in time because maybe you can. I could be wrong about this. We were talking about certain genres of rock and now metal. Dragon Force. Do you remember? They were referring to that band as video game metal at one point. Am I right about that? Do you know anything about that band?
Yeah. I don't.
Maybe it was the band that was calling themselves video.
Maybe. I don't remember necessarily reading about that or hearing about that, but I certainly thought that, and I probably have said that at some point because that song that they had on the video game Guitar Hero, which was like the last song, was like their song was the final boss, as it were.
Yeah, for a good reason.
Through the Fire and the Flames, definitely some of the shit that Herman Lee does on guitar sounds like it could be from like a fucking Super Mario game or whatever. Like just some of the shit that he pulls off, you know?
Yeah. Well, I remember when they first went on tour after that. I don't know if it was after the video game, but they were getting some acknowledgement and people were like, holy shit, how do they play this well and this fast? And when they went on tour, that first tour was like really rough. And they're like, oh, and then they got accused. They're one of these bands that got accused of kung fuing it, as they say, you know, speeding up. As like all the old kung fu movies, they did it very slow because it was orchestrated, and then they sped it up. They were accusing them of doing that, and they're like, no, we just had technical issues. And then the very next tour, they seem to have proved that, like they got their shit dialed in and bigger budget. And I love power metal in general, but I think that Dragon Force really did take it to the next level. I like to think, I mean, Rainbow, of course, was the earliest incarnation of power metal, but not everything that they did was power metal. You know, some of it was more like bluesy rock and then classic rock sounds like Man on the Silver Mountain and all that. But then I think that, to me, the ultimate, of course, Maiden dabbled in what I suppose you could call power metal, but to me, the ultimate power metal band is Helloween. And when I first heard Dragon Force, I'm like, this sounds like a Helloween, like the new Helloween album. Like if they had kept progressing, because they were one of those bands too that it was all about super fast, but catchy. You know, Dragon Force's shit is catchy as fuck.
That single.
There was a time when I referred to Maiden a few times as the quantum physics of power metal.
It's funny. See, now we're getting nerdy.
Just because of albums like Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, you know, I guess you could say it's more prog, but it's like, you know, they definitely have like Maiden, like if it weren't for them, I don't think power metal would exist. Like them and Judas Priest, right?
Yeah, I agree. Well, Dio, yeah. I think Dio is the one that embraced that notion before anybody else and stuck with it more than anybody else. Like it was like, no, I'm fucking 1995. We're going to put out an album. Yeah, I've heard about grunge. I've heard about neo-punk, ska. I know what's going on. We're going to put out
It's not for me.
my 8th Demons, Wizards, and Dragons album. And it was just always good. It wasn't always Rainbow in the Dark good, but it was always good. And he put out one of his best albums as an old man, in my opinion, Magica. That came out in the 2000s. And it was like, God, this guy's still making great fucking power metal music. Anywho, so yeah, I would say maybe my love for prog and power metal and all that, that's definitely tied to the Dungeons and Dragons, Wizards and Warriors type world. I have no problem. I know one of the things that I've always loved about prog, but especially Rush, is they were never really cool. You know, that very first, that first album, they were basically cloning off Zeppelin. And even they admit it, you know, it was like a lot of people, when they called up the radio station that was playing it, like, play that Zeppelin song again. I'm like, what Zeppelin song? That, you know, Working Man. And like, oh, that wasn't Zeppelin. That was a trio from Canada. And that's, you know, a lot of people thought that it was the new Zeppelin shit when it first came out. But the second record, they started dabbling more into these battles, epic battles, and, you know, 4-chapter songs. And that was never really cool. It was never like pop music cool anyway. It was cool in certain crowds, but I love that about them. And then, you know, they were in the 80s, they were dabbling in like elements of ska. And if you listen to Signals, which is actually my favorite Rush album, I think Farewell to Kings is their best album. But Signals might be my favorite album. That's one of their weird 80s new wave ones because they're dabbling in new wave. And, you know, they were listening to The Police. They were listening to some of the early ska bands. And they added all of that. They just experimented. And I always loved that spirit. They even they were terrible, but they did some like hip hop elements in some of their early 90s stuff.
Oh, wow.
It's like,
I didn't know that.
I just love the whole shtick of Rush is like, they were always just like nerdy dads even before they were nerdy dads, you know, they were just like, and Neil Peart did all the songwriting in the early days. And like, he was super into Lord of the Rings, and, you know, he would read a book and he'd be like, let's do a concept album about this nerdy shit. And we were like, all right, but can we wear capes while doing it? And they did. And someone needed to do it. And it may as well have been Rush. And one of the most unique, kooky, and absolutely uncool bands that ever was popular. And I'll tell you this, I've been to a lot of concerts with a lot of pretty women. Rush wasn't one of them. If you want to go to a concert to see hot girls, go to Kiss. Rush, you're going to meet, that's where your mathematicians are, and beer belly hippies that never really adjusted to normal life. Not hippies, but, you know, roadies, I guess. Anyway, that was
we're on the subject of weird genres of metal. Can we talk about Voivod for a minute?
Sure.
Yeah. Your Lord and Savior?
Well, that would be, I'm never going to get it right. Wizard Gizzard and the Lizard. No, Wizard. Let me try. Wait.
Gizzard.
Okay. King Gizzard. And
Giz,
the
man.
Lizard Wizard?
And the Lizard Wizard, yep.
Okay. I forgot the king part. That was throwing me.
How dare you?
I know. I could tell part of John Mark dies every time I botcher it.
It's fine. It's a weird name. But Voivod is another one of those bands that started out as kind of a thrash band, but they always had like some kind of weird elements to them. Like their first couple albums were basically totally thrash, but they were like really kind of weird and spacey and jazzy, you know, like just like dissonant. And then they sort of evolved into this really strange prog math metal kind of thing. And they hit the peak of that with their 1989 album, Nothing Face. And just recently, they put out a live stream of them playing that whole album live. And some of those songs have never been performed live before, ever. And what's fucking crazy about it is that the guitar player and the bass player in the band now were not in the band when that album was written. And
are they both dead, or is it just Piggy that's dead?
Blackie quit the band some years ago. I'm not sure exactly what happened there or why, but he's still alive. But yeah, Piggy died in like 2005 of like liver cancer or something. And they fucking nailed it, dude. Like it was like watching that stream. I've watched it 3 times now, and it just brought me back to like how important that band was and that album was to me at that time. Like I totally forgot, like my second tattoo is one of the artworks for the first song on that album that Away did. And I was like, holy shit, like that band influenced me so much that I got a fucking tattoo of it. And I kind of forget about that sometimes. It's just part of my DNA now. You know what I mean? But it's just incredible because it's just so like, there's nothing else like it. It's thrash, but it's not. It's prog. It's
they were definitely their own thing.
It's so crazy, and they've never had like hits. Yeah, for sure. And they've just always been doing their own thing, and they're one of those bands that's like, I don't want to say the underground, but like people who are into metal and stuff like those. Voivod
I would put them in the underground. I don't think a lot of people, even if they know that name, a lot of people have never really heard their albums.
But like they have like they're revered amongst metal circles for being like unique and always sticking to their guns, and you know what I mean. It's just doing their own thing the whole time, and it's just
they acknowledge their prog influences too. They covered Pink Floyd
twice,
a couple times. Well, you and I saw them just a few years ago. Well, 6 years ago now,
something like that.
They're old dudes. They just founded fucking amazing. And that was at El Corazon. Great place to see a band like that. So where did you see that? Was that on their Facebook, or did you got to pay for it?
They extended it through Sunday, so you can buy a ticket to watch it through Sunday, and then you can watch it as many times as you want up through the end of Sunday. It's $22, but if you are a fan of Voivod at all, like I highly recommend that you do so, because it's kind of a unique experience. They went into the studio and they had tulle, like white sheets all around the room that they were in, with images that Away drew that related to the Voivod and stuff, like projected on them. So it's like got this they're like in a little hypercube, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just playing it, and they have interspersed. There's a few interviews with some of the members of the bands about how some of the songs came about and what it meant to them. And so the guitar player and the bass player that are in Voivod now were big fans of the band, and they were both at the same show in like '89 that they debuted the Nothing Face material live. But they didn't realize it at the time because they weren't friends, but then they later became members of the band, and they were talking about like how for them, like, hey, for us, like playing this music for you, like I feel like we're with you, like I'm part of you, because like I'm a fan of the band and I'm in the band playing this music, and I feel like I'm 15 again. You know what I mean?
Isn't it interesting that how many times that kind of thing has happened at this point, where fans of the band end up being in the band, whether it's Journey or Judas Priest was an interesting scenario, and a famous one because it ended up being a movie of sorts. But Ripper Owens, I mean, can you imagine there are some bands that you could just step in and it's like, oh, they're the new singer. Like Dragon Force got a new singer. A lot of people probably didn't notice. I did, of course. Maybe you guys did, but a lot of people didn't notice. And if they did, they didn't care. It's like, oh, interesting. What happened to DP Theart?
Was it better?
Maybe. I don't know.
Lateral?
It was a fairly lateral move. And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these bands would be. But
I'm still waiting for Jason Newsted to find a home.
Yeah, he's been an orphan for a while. I don't think he wants a home. I think he's fucking burnt out on the music world. He had a rough go.
He still plays. The Megadeth just lost their bass player. He quit.
That was a weird story too.
And yeah, they were talking.
That was weird.
Oh, he was fired.
Yeah, he was texting.
We talked about Newsted putting in his shoes, but he doesn't want to do it. So which is too bad.
That'd be interesting because for anyone who doesn't know, Dave Mustaine was once in Metallica and he got booted. So it'd be interesting for the guy that never really fit in with Metallica to join Megadeth. Anyway, but going back to, so Judas Priest is not one of those bands, right? Like Rob Halford is one of the most amazing, you love or hate Judas Priest. That band, when you think of that band, you think of his voice and that front man. So when he left Judas Priest and they wanted to continue and they got Ripper Owens, who is a hell of a singer, there's no question, but he was like one of these guys, like doing Judas Priest covers. And then they hire him to be the new singer. Well, his story was turned into, I don't know if it was turned into a book or if it went straight to being optioned as a script. And do you know what movie that went on to become?
No, Rockstar, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rockstar with Marky Mark.
Yeah, that's right.
Apparently, they went pretty loose with it. But the whole reason that movie Rockstar exists is because of Ripper Owens stepping into the, what a weird fucking, I mean, on one hand, like a dream come true, but also a nightmare. And I think mostly a nightmare to be the new singer for Judas Priest. I don't care how good you can sing.
It's a tough one, in my opinion. I think it seems like some of those bands over the years probably should have just quit. Like I hate to say it, but like Queensryche, when they lost Joffrey.
They should have quit after Minecraft.
Joffrey Tate.
There was some King Joffrey. There was some decent stuff on Empire, but even Empire was starting to get more of that pop metal stuff.
He was still a singer. When they quit, they found a new singer, and it was just horrible. And
it's interesting because
I wouldn't say he was horrible, but he wasn't. He didn't fill the boots.
Well, it's another very distinct voice. The Queensryche is a very distinct sounding band.
That's a huge.
All alone now, except for memory.
There's not too many people.
I can do a lampoon of it, if not an imitation. Oh, good shit. Yeah, that always takes me back to I mean, I think the first time I heard that whole album was Lyle. He brought that up on cassette. I was like, you need to dub them shits for me. And I was obsessed. And then it wasn't long after I was obsessed
which one,
with
Operation Mindcrime?
Yeah. Oh God. Front to back
Fucking
to
classic,
front, over
dude.
and over again.
Fucking classic.
Mm-hmm. and you know, again, tying back into those prog roots, not a lot of metal bands were doing that. It was a concept album. It was basically The Wall set to metal, but melodic and catchy metal. And fucking Jeff Tate at the top of his game. That's an amazing singer.
And the lyrics are still so fucking timeless. Like the whole concept for that album is like it could be today, you know? Like
I remember now.
Yeah,
so many
crazy.
good little snippets too. It's just like The Wall, you know, you remember like, you can't eat your pudding if you don't have any meat. There's like so many, like somebody on that soundtrack, I swear, says, no, I don't want to take a bath. I could be wrong. Someone do the research. Maybe I'll do the research and paste that in here, I should say. Good Lord, I better slow down on the booze. I got 3 empties in front of me already, and I don't
have my choo full steam ahead, bitch. Let's do
here. It. But yeah, anyway, Queensryche. What was I going to say? There's one more. Oh, well, that's one of those bands where now there's a Jeff Tate's Queensryche, and then there's a Queensryche, which is always kind of funny when that happens. But
so there's the band Queensryche with a different singer. And then there's the singer
Tate.
Queensryche with a different band.
Calling himself Jeff Tate's Queensryche.
Yeah.
And sometimes they can't do that. Like, John Fogerty famously got sued for trying to sing his own songs because he lost the lawsuit and he lost the name Creedence Clearwater Revival to the rest of the band, even though he wrote all the songs, or at least most of them, and definitely sang them all. Yeah,
that sucks when that kind of shit happens.
A lot
man.
of bitterness in the music
sad.
industry. Well, a funny twist on the whole fan becoming a singer, and I've probably brought this up before because for some reason the band Fuel comes up from time to time on this show.
I love that band.
Well, so did Chris Daughtry, who went on to have great fame, and I can never remember if he won American Idol, but he did well with it, and he got a recording contract, and he released, he's formed his own band called Daughtry. But along that way, he was the rocker on the show, the rocker for old white people. And he would cover one of the Fuel songs. And Chris, I'll remember the second you give me a couple lines. I like one of the most well-known Fuel songs.
She calls me from the cold just because. I don't
recognize that one.
You put me on a spot.
Didn't they do the one that? What's the one I'm trying to think of? Like,
that one.
No, that's Nickelback. Got it all blurs to fucking gather these fucking white guy bands from the mid '90s. Anyway, so he was obviously a fan. And so as he was getting all of that success, the band Fuel had fired, I guess, their lead singer. And so they reached out to Chris Daughtry and was like, hey, you want to join it? You want to be the new singer for Fuel?
I don't think it's Fuel, is it?
It's got to be.
I'm going to look it up.
Look it up. Chris Daughtry Fuel. But at that point, that band... If it wasn't Fuel, whatever that band was, their time had come. They had their couple hits on MTV, and they were no longer, they're probably a bar band at that point. Chris Daughtry, on the other hand, was blowing the fuck up. So it was kind of precious that they said, hey, you could be our lead singer if you want. He had to politely decline, which was probably another surreal thing to realize that, hey, this band that I loved and used to cover on this show, the show that made me more famous than the band I covered, I got to say no to because they would hold me back. Yeah, I'm not singing Fuel anymore. You find anything, Chris?
No, not yet. Not with I know he performed with Fuel. Let's see. That band offered Chris Rally. No, that's it was fucking with the band Fuel. He was offered a fucking job with the band Fuel. I'm shocked I never knew this. I like Fuel.
Well, I think the singer ended up being... Wasn't it Fuel that...
This was 2006. This is a long time ago. Holy fuck.
Yeah. But, well after Fuel's prime, which was probably, 97 or 98.
No, it was later than that, wasn't it? Maybe you're right.
You need to see. I need a song title. If we could look this up.
Shimmer.
Fuel.
Fuel's first hit was Shimmer.
It's got to be 90s. Although looking at the
96, fuck my life.
I know, it's crazy.
Hold on.
Yeah, which means that they were probably at their peak in 97 and 98. So this is 10 years later, and I don't remember what it was. But the singer ended up outside the band. But I think he's back in the band. Wasn't it Fuel that did a Nirvana cover not that long ago, and it like became viral because it was so horrible?
No, I didn't.
Because he was struggling with it. Let me look that up.
Oh, no.
This whole show is just becoming. Let's look it up.
I tend not to listen to Nirvana covers.
Well, no one should attempt them. I may be thinking of a different band because it should have popped right up. Nirvana cover bad. I must be thinking of a different. Let me just put bad Nirvana cover. Because there's another band, another singer that I think I get confused with Fuel. Because looking at that video, I was like, God, that's not the guy I had in my head. I had the story right. Bad Nirvana cover. Oh, it was rough. That was Puddle of Mud.
Oh.
Yeah, give it a little listen here. I got about a girl, which isn't one of the harder. Yeah, fucking ads. Not one of the harder Nirvana songs to play or sing. He could have. Just listening to it, it's like, dude, get a capo, just adjust it. And he makes a bad face when he sings. Believe it or not, it gets worse.
This is fucking painful, dude.
This is live?
This is live. That's the only saving grace, is that it was live. But yeah, you got to see his face too. It really looks like he's shitting a fucking cacti. And I do mean plural. But funny how I confused those two singers. So I guess the Fuel singer maybe never did make it back into the band. And who knows? Maybe Chris Daughtry has fallen from grace so far that now he's lined up. They always say you pass each other on the way up or on the way down. And so be good to everyone around you on the way up, because you're going to meet them again on the way down. And you never know. And you really do never know, because now we have stadium shows of nostalgia rock like Def Leppard, Journey, Motley Crue, Poison, whatever the fuck.
Rat.
Yeah.
Everyone's just, so nostalgia crazy that they're back to selling out some pretty big venues.
Yeah.
But
even
for
like
a while, them were dark days. What's that?
Like even bands like New Kids on the Block are getting together with they're all teaming up to do these stadium tours. You see it all the time. Yeah.
We fuck your mom behind stage tour. Mm-hmm. Or maybe grandmom. We can't know.
At this point, yeah.
Underneath the stage, a la Def Leppard.
New Kids on your mom. Anywho, well, I didn't mean to have another quiz to give you guys this week, but I realized...
Oops, I quizzed again.
Oops, I quizzed again. I realized that I had all this study that I was going to share with you guys from the last time we got together, which was, popular or the sexiest jobs according to Tinder. So I have a sex position quiz and maybe a hybrid between that and the elimination game that I think we should call Elimination from here on out. What do you guys think?
Sure.
It's the one that you came up with, Chris.
Sounds good to me.
Your feedback is most important. You came up with this game. It's fun to do, and it's easy to do.
I don't remember what this is. What are we talking about?
Well, you know, when you go to like Ranker and you're like, here's the top 10 sci-fi movies of all time.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm gonna have a play of that and weird trivia to give you guys concerning most popular sex positions around the world. And before we get into that, I wanted to make sure I gave you all a chance to put forth anything that you may or may not have brought.
I got stories that are pretty quick. There was a 39-year-old man that disappeared. They're in this kind of theme park with dinosaurs, statues, and so the guy's gone, and they're like, "What happened to this dude?" And to find out what happened to this dude, he apparently crawled into the dinosaur's mouth. We have something similar. We have a triceratops across town that's like life size. I guess, you know, whatever a dinosaur would be, you know, it's fairly large. And this guy fucking took his mobile phone in through the mouth and was video or doing something, and he fell in and got trapped inside its leg. And they didn't find him for a few days. But when they dropped his
cell phone,
he was dead. They found him dead in there.
Oh,
he dropped his cell phone in there. He's trying to get it back out. That's what they think happened.
And firefighters had to cut him out.
Oh man, can you imagine?
I
mean, like,
in 3 days he died, so he must have like suffocated or something, or 3 days. You don't dehydrate. I guess that's about the dehydration.
He could be hanging upside down. There's something that might be, I don't know.
It seemed like a tropical place too. He probably just died of extreme heat.
Yeah, if it was heat. Oof.
Yeah, wolf, right?
Yeah, well, he could have got a new phone. We're attached to these fucking things, though, man. We could all, it's tempting to maybe mock it or call it a Darwinian thing, but I think we would all try to get our phone back.
That's pretty bizarre.
I don't know about going down to dinosaur.
Another story is entrepreneur, Mr. Robert Bigelow. He's offering $1 million on any kind of evidence of an afterlife. He's 75 years old right now, and I think
please God, tell me there's a shot.
Anyone that can give me hope.
He was the guy that bought Skinwalker Ranch back earlier.
Yeah, he's interested in some spiritual shit.
I'm trying to remember the name, IFID or something. I can't remember. He started he started like this little thing for paranormal activity. You know, it was, I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, he's putting up $1 million on anybody that could provide the best evidence of an afterlife. And I always think about it, because like in dialysis, I've had a few close runs where they've crashed me, and what that means is basically the whole reason why somebody goes into dialysis is to pull water off you, right? So, and the only way they do it is through the blood. I think we talked about this before, but basically they thicken up your blood, right, to a point where, and it's just this machine doing it, so they got to kind of keep an eye on you. But they make it where your blood's so thick your heart can't beat the blood through, right? So what they have to do, and that's what they call a crash. I've crashed out a couple times. Scary, very scary. Everything fades to black.
Yikes.
And it's the closest thing you can come to death, because your heart's basically.
Did you ever see anything that makes you think there's something on the other side?
I've never seen anything, but I was going to suggest to you, like when you got in the wreck, did you see white?
No. Well, maybe I saw white, but I don't know. I was never really out. Right.
There's times I've taken heavy impacts, like in the head, where I've seen white.
It sounds right, but it's so hard to know. I can tell you this. I used to think, and I'm sure I talked about it on my post-crash episode, I remember thinking that if you died in a car wreck, like listening to some song like that somehow mattered. It didn't. I didn't die, obviously, but I was listening to Tool, Rosetta Stone, which is a perfect song for me to die to. It's like an X-Files song by Tool, one of my favorite bands. And it was just, I was cruising along, tapping my finger, and then the next thing I knew, I was in the ambulance. There was no lingering of that song in my head. There was no like visions I had. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what it taught me, but I feel like that song, I don't know. I felt like the music that was playing when something massive like that would happen would somehow matter more. I remember being slightly disappointed that it didn't.
Well, it should be pretty, because he's got a first, second, and third prize. Well, I mean, what it is a bunch of philosophers. There's a bunch of people that are. It's basically an essay thing. He's going to read it, and there
something that's believable.
$1 million. Gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal.
I'm a decent writer. Maybe I should put something together. Make old man Bigelow feel better about his impending doom.
Right? Welcome to the afterlife.
I know 2 people this past week that found out that they have less than 6 months to live.
No way.
So I've been thinking about that kind of aspect of life a lot. It's like, where would I be? Where would my mind be with that news? Lyle has lived very close to that sort of mindset.
I'm at that mindset.
You changed your life so quickly. Like you stopped drinking. You were kind of weaning off that to begin with. But you quit smoking, and I felt like you did everything right, and you handled everything with such a good attitude. And I just feel like if I was in that same position, I'd probably go off the rails and then dial it back in.
No, I got fucked.
Snapped into.
I got seriously fucked. I quit drinking for quite a few years. I was going to the gym. I was eating right for years before I found out I had cancer. And so, like, for me, it was like, what the fuck?
So you were already on that, yeah.
Yeah, and quitting smoking was probably the hardest thing to do. But, like, once I knew I had cancer, it was a no-brainer. Kind of quit.
Sure.
I was going to go on to something else about that.
Well, if nothing else, it's a shout out to all our writers that are listening.
Oh.
Maybe you can come up with a clever way to make Mr. Bigelow write you that fat fucking check. Hey, what's the prize again?
Hey, baby, it's cash. It's $1 million, and then $500,000, $300,000, and $150,000.
That's kind of sad, isn't it? Like I do feel like he's looking for what I suppose a lot of people look for in either philosophy or religion, but I don't know. There's something kind of sad about that to me. Like, I'll write the biggest check to someone who can make me feel good about where I'm going. Well, I don't know. That's how my mind's interpreting this.
I don't know the guy, so I really can't, vouch for him, on how he.
I don't
made
know him
his
well, but I.
Well, what I'm saying is, I don't know. He did it through, aerospace, but I don't know how many, like how he got his wealth, or if he's really a good person or not.
I was wondering if he's tied to the tea empire.
It seems to me like it would be something I would do personally if I had gazillions of dollars. Is to put it towards like paranormal shit to find out if it's real or not.
Yeah, someone did this with Bigfoot not that long ago, right? Yeah. They offered $1 million to anyone who could prove a Bigfoot. Oh. God help anybody out in fucking gorilla suit these days.
I was gonna say, I've been dealing with pneumonia for the last 2 months, and they said basically this round, if I don't quit coughing up blood, that I'm gonna have to get hospitalized, and they're gonna.
Fuck, dude.
Well, you sound better. Are you getting better?
I'm getting a little bit better. I think the antibiotics are taken.
Jeez,
but so did they a month ago, you know what I mean? And it came right back. And it's just like, I just wake up in the morning and I start coughing up blood.
Jesus.
And I don't smoke, It's nothing I know of, unless it's the only thing I thought about what it could be is the heparin, because when you do dialysis, they shoot you full of heparin.
That blood thinner?
It could be, well, yeah, it's type of a anticoagulant. But it could make you bleed, from the inside out, die.
God. This is one of those things. It's like you take this to get better with that, but that can cause this, and then that could affect the thing that you were.
We did a story, I think, of a nurse that worked in a mental institution. That's how she got away with killing all her murder victims.
Yeah,
was she would fill them full of heparin, and they would just bleed, from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, because I don't want to be hospitalized. 1, 2, I got shit to do.
Yeah.
And being in the hospital is not that, So hopefully we don't have to. Here in a little while, we'll find out if I have to. I got to see a lung doctor or something, a pulmonary doctor. So.
Fuck. Well, hopefully it's a clear set of lungs soon, because the world is creeping back, and we're going to be seeing if I'm right or wrong about the great fucking. And I can't think of a better transition into our little quiz here.
Well, I got one quick more.
Oh yeah, go ahead, real quick.
There's a man from Australia that happens to be 111 years old, and you'll never guess.
Doesn't that sound painful?
Fuck me.
I'm not even halfway there, and I hurt.
It sounds pretty bad. I don't know if I'd want to live that long.
I feel like here's what life at 111 is like. You can't even say kill me. You just wow, you're shitting. I mean,
it's like if it was the 1990s, you were around in the 1800s. Jesus.
It was very good.
Well, he basically exercises quite a bit, but there's one little thing that he has to have, and it's what he eats, and I want you guys to take a guess, like what he eats to keep him in such good shape and keep him alive this long.
Pussy.
And you get a little hint. He's a cattle rancher.
Oh, sheep pussy.
Sheep pussy. Yeah.
I'm gonna say liver.
Wait, okay. I'll give you that. I'll give you another chance too. Okay. We did a story. This is just a hint. We did a story way back in the day about one particular creature that lived without its head.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I took my liver guess, so that's a big clue.
No.
Let's see if Chris figures that out.
Are we just going to shout it out or what?
Sure. Baby!
Isn't Mike the headless chicken?
Well, it is chicken. He eats chicken brains, dude.
Oh,
he must cook them up
part.
like fucking. He must kick them up
chicken brains, huh?
Yeah. It's not that far away from liver.
That's all he is.
Organ eating.
It's his thing, man.
Yeah.
He's the chicken brain eater, and make me a zombie. I don't know.
God. Yeah, I did.
I'm 11 years old.
Tricky stuff with eating brains. It's led to some interesting diseases, but I think that might just be in the cannibalistic world, right? Isn't it just when animals eat their own brains?
Yeah, you don't want to eat like.
Well, it's yes. So if you are a cannibal of the human kind and you eat human brains, you will get fucked up and die from that. But also, if you eat, if you eat, I think it's if you eat cows that have eaten cow brains, you'll get the mad cow disease, something like that. Because like what happened with the mad cow disease was that they were feeding cows. Other cows, and part of that shit that they were feeding were brains, and that's what led to the mad cow disease.
Yeah, they were grinding up and food. Yeah.
Oh, what we won't do to save a buck. Feed them to themselves. Well, the interesting thing about this old person here swears that the secret to their longevity is this, and we hear it all the time, whether it's 3 glasses of wine a day or eating a cheeseburger every day. What works for one folk don't work for the next. We're all just genetics above all. And then sometimes it's just, I do think that there's a diet that we should all be on. There's a lifestyle that we should all live. It's not the same. It's not a one size fits all. We have to figure it out. That's the fucking trick. You have to experiment and dial in something for your specific blood type, for your specific age. It changes. Where you live, everything that you put in your body, there's so many things that can affect the slightest bit, that can cause the slightest bit of inflammation in your body or the slightest bit of disease that can fuck everything up, and that causes a chain reaction. I think some people, between genetics and they just stumble upon the thing that does actually work for them. But I would not wager that eating chicken brains every day is going to make you live to be 111. But you don't know. People have tried crazier things for the fountain of youth, including eating their own poop back in the ancient days, which we talked about on one show way back. But anywho, well, what a great transition.
Once again,
into
you got one more to throw on there, buddy? Got anything else in the
I figured I'd do a little
chamber?
bit of work since last episode I didn't bring anything. So.
Yeah, no, it's totally fair. We rambled a lot at the beginning of this one, so I wanted you to have your chance to bring your stories, and I'll probably trim some of that down. But I want to cruise through this because I think there's some interesting things here. Now, I got quite a few questions. Maybe I'll looking okay time-wise, but I found this interesting. Now, there's not some mind-blowing shit here, but there's a few surprises, and I'm curious how good you guys are at guessing this, because this is really a guessing game. I mean, there's no way that you're just going to know this. But I thought it would be more fun to do it as a bit of a game. So we're going to do a few rounds of weird trivia style. Now, this was an international study, mostly Europe, on which sex positions people prefer based on their home country. Now, I'm gonna I'm gonna ask you, and then we're gonna go around one round of the elimination game at the very end of this. And again, I think this might be a little tough, so don't feel bad. This is kind of more of just a fun way of educating people on how people are thinking about sex. So Chris won last time. So since he won, let's go ahead and put him in the coveted caboose. That is an advantage since most of this game will be trivia style. Let's put him in the caboose. Then John Mark will start us off. And then Lyle right there in the sweet spot of the taint. We can go any which way. And question 1, Italy. So which position, by the way, this is overall. We'll do a bit more specifics later on, and that'll be clear when that happens. Which position is Italy most fond of? Is it A, 69, B, cowgirl, C, spooning style, or D, reverse cowgirl? What do you think Italy is the most into out of 69, cowgirl, spooning style, or reverse cowgirl? Start us off, John Mark.
I'm going to go with 69.
69. Okay. And Lyle, what say you?
I would figure that Italy, being a romantic capital of the, wherever, would do the old spooning.
Spooning style.
Let's reach,
Italian style.
Got to be able to reach,
You got to be able to reach. I like spooning style sex. It's kind of tricky sometimes, depending on, your genitalia and her genitalia, or I should say yours and theirs. But yeah, it's a cozy, and it's easy to get from that to some other interesting positions. I like it. I think it's underrated, spooning style, if I'm being honest. Christopher, what say you? 69, cowgirl, spooning style, or reverse cowgirl is what Italians are into.
I'm gonna go with cowgirl.
Going with cowgirl. Very interesting. Well, you are right. 100% right. And it seems like those Italian stallions like to be ridden like a stallion.
I know.
So straight up cowgirl is just, I guess, reverse missionary. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to, it's not that
like
daring.
Cowgirl. Yeah.
It's not terribly daring. Well,
no,
you know what? More on that later.
Comfortable.
We'll put a pin in that, how daring cowgirl is. I hope I didn't spoil it.
Is there a story time?
You'll forget
Ryan?
about it. Oh, no. Well, no, not with me. Thank God. Moving on. Question 2, Hungary. And I will resist the urge for so many pun possibilities here. Most popular sex act in Hungary is A, oral sex, B, the standing 69, very tricky, most tricky, C, missionary, or D, legs up missionary. John Mark, what say you? Oral sex, standing 69, missionary, or legs up missionary?
I'm Fuck. This is like so arbitrary. I'm just gonna go with oral sex.
Well, like I told you, this is nothing but guessing. Like even weird trivia, as hard as it can be and as random as Chris can sometimes make it, it's still news that you could have come across. This is really all just kind of a fun guessing game. So can't be blamed for guessing wrong, but John Mark is going oral sex in Hungary. He's hungry for oral sex. Lyle, what say ye? Oral sex, standing 69, missionary, or legs up missionary?
I'm going to say missionary.
Going with missionary. Interesting. And Christopher?
I'm going to go with missionary too.
Well, that's a big whiff. It is actually legs up missionary. A little twist.
I thought that was the Ron Herring.
It might be the legs up herring. A little twist on a classic. Mm-hmm. Hungry for grabbing them legs. Which I think is most of the appeal, but it also, lines things up in a very unique way.
Yeah, I like a leg when it's finger licking good.
Finger licking good. Well, so far it's 0-0-1. Christopher looking good, but quite a few questions to go here. France, most popular sexual position in France. Is it les doggy style, les cowgirl, les 69, or les missionary?
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with le doggy style.
Les doggy style is number one in France. Okay, Lyle.
Oh, oui, oui.
That resonates with this list.
I'm gonna go 69.
69. Yeah. All right. Les 69.
Little. Yeah.
Can you read it one more time?
Sure. Les doggy style. I wrote it, so I'm going to read it. Les doggy style, les cowgirl, les 69, or les missionary. For France.
Can you read it one more time? The lays really. I get so.
That's fair. I'll leave the lay out. Ironically.
No, I need the lays for sure this time.
Yeah. Lay doggy style. Well, now I just feel dumb. So okay. A was lay doggy style. Then we came in B with lay cowgirl. C was lay 69, and D was lay missionary.
I'm gonna guess cowgirl again.
Going cowgirl. Well, John Mark was right there. It was in fact lay doggy style. And by the way, hands down, no question, no competition, doggy style is by far the most popular position in the entire world. Not every country chose it, obviously, but Japan, the US, it's by far the most popular position in all of the land. So John Mark is on the board with the point. Lyle not far behind at all. Moving on. Now this is a little different. These people were asked which sexual act they would like to try. Now we are still sticking with countries. So overall, what did the people of France say was the position they would most like to try? Keeping in mind that France's most popular position was doggy style. Not sure if that'll help you or not. So we have A, standing up, B, anal, C, 69, or D, with the lights on. John Mark, what say ye? What do most French folk wish they have tried, or want to try, I should say?
It's a toss-up between anal and 69.
Isn't it always? That's why the good Lord invented coins. Who could choose?
I'm gonna
toss up between that 69. That's
I'm gonna go with anal. I'm gonna go with anal.
Oh, there's the soundbite that I was hoping we would get at some point. All right, John Mark is going with the French. Want to try anal. Lyle, what say you?
I'm going to stick to my guns and go with my first answer and just say 69.
69.
Yeah,
and Chris
slack that they probably wish they should do. They're not doing already.
Yeah. Chris, standing up, anal, 69, or with the lights on?
Well, I think John Mark and I are Wookiee Den brothers because I'm going with anal, Ron.
You're both going with anal. Well, you're both on the wrong end of this question.
Womp.
Yeah, this one was a little odd and a little surprising to me. It was standing up. It's funny how that seems exotic to some. Like, you know what I'd love to do? Sex standing up. Like, haven't you all done kind of like standing sex?
Yeah. Shower.
Variations of it? Yeah. It doesn't seem like that rare of a thing. Also, I think the French are known for being kind of kinky, right? Mm-hmm. Or at least open-minded. So it seems like it'd be something, well, maybe that makes sense. Maybe they were the ones to do anal and 69 and all that first.
It's fake news. Fake news, Ron.
John Mark calls bullshit. He's sticking with anal. Okay, so still 1-0-1.
Yeah, that just seems like one of those things that you just kind of do automatically over the course of your life, right? Like just standing up in some situation or other.
Yeah, we don't have a really cozy spot to do it, and sometimes, especially if the height lines up, standing up can be fabulous. Yeah, and it also works in what's the word? It coexists with so many of these other positions too. Like a lot of these are easier standing up.
It's like anal and 69 both have to have sort of like a conversation around it beforehand. You know what I'm saying?
That's like after shower sports.
I can't wait to make my John Mark soundbite keychain based solely off of this. 69 and anal require a conversation. Say that again, Lyle.
I said those are after shower sports. Everything's clean and you make sure that it's all clean.
For somebody, and I'm speaking about myself here, for somebody who is ass crazy, I'm not super into anal. I'm not super out of it, but it's not something that's ever really on my mind, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm going to fuck that girl up the ass. As fun as that is to say, it's not one of my kinks, but I've got no hesitation, no problem. I've dabbled, but it's funny. And the only reason it sticks out to me is because I'm such an ass guy. Like, I like titties. I like, I like every aspect of the woman. I've always said that I'm like the Native American to the buffalo when it comes to me and women. There's no part of it that I won't spend some time with. But yeah, I like asses. I like big butts, and I cannot lie. But yeah, actual anal, I don't know. I'm give or take. let me rephrase. Okay, moving on. The Netherlands. John Mark, you might have two legs up here. The Netherlands, is
it a hint?
Their favorite was doggy style. We didn't talk about that, but that was one on the list. What do they wish they were experimenting more with? A, anal. B, threesomes. C, 69 standing up. Or D, foot stuff. The Dan Schneider of quiz answers, if you will.
This is tough.
Yeah, I know. It is tough. It's like I said, this isn't a fair quiz. It's just
entertaining.
What do you guess? Who's gonna be right guessing? Yeah. It was just like one of these. I could have listed all of these in like 5 minutes, but I thought we'd make a. And I was hoping that some of this dialogue would come out of it. If I'm not lying. John Mark, what say you? Anal, threesome, 69 standing up, or foot stuff? Do the Netherlands wish they
I'm going to guess
more?
threesomes.
Threesome? Mm-hmm. I think that's a pretty popular one that a lot of people will probably never do and wish that they could at least do once. Lyle?
Where is this again?
The Netherlands, which is
kind of
a vague area.
Say this, but and because it sounds so stupid, but I'm going to say foot stuff. Mm-hmm. Only because it's so cold there. They probably wear their socks on all the time anyway because it's so cold.
So when you see the foot, it's like, oh.
See the size of that foot.
That's not a bad analyze. Mm-hmm.
You never know. I don't know.
Okay, well, I was going with foot stuff. And Christopher,
for the sake of this quiz, it's going to be an anal Lyles.
And I know I immediately regretted not going down that road.
Wow, that was really softball, Ron. That was, I'm really disappointed.
I'm getting older.
Yeah, there we go.
You're gonna get some softballs.
Could you read it again? But could you add the lays?
Is it A, lay anal, lay threesome, lay 69 standing up, or lay foot stuff? Ooh, lay foot stuff sounds nice. That's a good combination of words.
Great band name. Yeah.
Lay foot stuff.
I got to go with lay foot stuff. It rolls right off the tongue. If you know.
Interesting. Well, none of you are right on that one either. It was the dreaded and very dangerous 69 standing up.
Why?
Now, I've done some shit. I have never attempted or even thought about, if I'm being honest. 69 standing up.
Just pile driver?
Well, pile drivers are like, you can do that in bed.
Yeah.
Like a pile driver to me is like you're stabled by your knees and they're stabled by their own hands. If you're 69 and standing up, unless you're with a tall partner, like you got to be equal height, I think, to make that easy. Otherwise, you're just holding somebody up.
Dude,
that's a lot. That's a lot to do. I guess
Grandpa, tell me about that time you got your dick bit off again.
Well, I just had my third chicken brain and I was ready to rock. So that's another whiff. So I'll say this is one of our closest games. Okay, moving on.
That could be actually pretty dangerous. You've heard of the term in wrestling, like the tombstone? Like your partner up like
the pile driver.
Right. It is exactly a pile driver.
Like, on it.
Grandpa, tell me about that time again that you broke Grandma's neck.
Exactly about that.
Well, that wasn't Grandma. That was let's call her Beta Grandma. A prototype for dearly beloved Grandma. Well, funnily enough, it's not the most dangerous sexual act. Now, the answer to that question might surprise you. So, what is, according to doctors, the most dangerous sexual position, specifically for men? And we're going to do one for women too, but this one is specifically for men. Is it A, reverse cowgirl, B, cowgirl, C, anal, or D, 69?
Oh my God. Okay.
Most dangerous for men.
I'm definitely going cowgirl on this one.
Well,
you're going cowgirl on that one.
Sparks, and I say reverse cowgirl.
Interesting.
I think that you could actually break your dick.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Like sometimes that angle's like, rah-roh.
Ooh, you've all had that thing where it's like she comes off the dick, or maybe not all the way off the dick, and then comes back on it wrong, and you feel like your dick just broke in half, and you try to keep it going, try to play cool, but it's like,
it's good. Oh, wait a sec. Oh,
that's God. That white light that Lyle was just talking about. Yeah, come to think of it, I have seen that. And there is no God waiting on the other side. It's just you and every bit of manliness you can muster to keep it going. I was like, no, we're good. Back in the game. Whoo-wee. So Lyle's going reverse cowgirl. Christopher, what say you? Reverse cowgirl, anal, or 69? Most dangerous for men?
I'm really torn between
no pun intended.
reverse cowgirl because of the dick danger.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, like this, the first thing that popped into my mind when you said that was 69, because ain't y'all been ever just smothered by a bitch? Like, what I'm talking about?
Well, what?
Smothered?
Oh, smothered by a dog.
Oh, God.
Haven't you been in that?
I don't think I've ever been
smothered, covered,
smothered.
And whatever else they call the hash brown things.
I've been in a 69 where it was like, okay, hygiene isn't important to you, so this is going to be one of
just
many.
Just right, like grinding into your face, and in the moment you're probably coming up for every.
So I think you're going to suffocate. Mm-hmm.
Smothered, covered, topped, and whatchamacallit.
I'm going to go with that just because I think there is a you can asphyxiate. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm going 69. A solid 69 right now, Ron.
Well, it's a good guess, and they're all good guesses.
Damn it!
Nice.
John Mark was right, though. It was indeed cowgirl. Now, this could happen with reverse cowgirl, too, but apparently the most common way, now brace yourself, fellas, the most common way to experience penile fractures is from vigorous cowgirling. Yeah. So those times where, you feel like your dick almost broke off, some people had their dick break off, and it's an injury that can heal, but
oh God,
it's going to ruin your weekend. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it already has.
So that brings John Mark up to 2. Christopher, you got 2 as well. Is that right? Or did
I think
Oh yeah, I accidentally wrote B and didn't erase it. All right, 2-1 to 0. I'm almost done with the quiz portion, and then we'll go through a quick round of elimination with something I thought was fun. But I want to go to women. Now, what is, obviously I think we're talking here for the most part about heterosexual sex. There's some variation, I suppose, in here. But what do you think for women is the most dangerous sexual position? And I'll tell you right now, it's not anal. I was surprised by that because, we've all heard the horror stories. Some of us have lived through a few of them where there's a bit of tearing happening with the anus if you're not careful or properly lubricated. And but it's not anal. So for women, most dangerous position is A, 69, B, missionary, C, doggy style, or D, fingering.
Oh my God, what?
What feels good to you, John Mark?
Crazy.
Well, it's a toss up between doggy style and fingering.
Real sounds like a toss of a salad.
Isn't it always?
I'm gonna go with doggy style.
Going with doggy style. Lyle, what say you? Most dangerous position for a woman?
I'm gonna go with Chris's answer, 69, because I think you could probably do some serious. I think there's actually cases of women that have died from gagging.
Have died from gagging during a 69? I feel like that's something I would have come across in my studies.
No, it seemed to me like I've heard stories of that where like either fractured her throat or whatnot.
There's a lot of stories out there though. You gotta
can fracture a throat.
Well, and I think there was one where like
you gotta make sure you vet your sources.
Well, yeah, you'd have to look at the sources, but I think there was a murder like that. Like the dude was doing that and just like held her, she couldn't breathe and died. And
well, that's an interesting way to kill somebody because they could bite your dick off while they're. Wouldn't you like a last hurrah? Yeah. Well,
maybe it wasn't
a grain of salt, those stories. So you're going with 69. Christopher, what do you say is the most dangerous sexual position for a woman?
I'm going with finger blasting, Ron. Let me tell you why. We have dirty fucking fingers.
Oh, interesting. Sure. Yeah. An errant fingernail up there could lead to infection. Well, it's a good guess, and which is why I put it in there as the pink herring. Or pinky herring, shall I say.
For the pink and one for the
stinky.
But John Marr got it. It was, in fact, doggy style. This surprised me. The most popular and most dangerous, according to many doctors. And what happens is, apparently, this is the biggest culprit of vaginal tearing. And so I guess from a dude coming in a little too hot, maybe at the wrong angle, pounding in and ripping and tearing, and that often can lead to an infection. So that's why. Okay. Who's horny? Dick breakage, vaginal infections.
Joe Mark is like a fucking doctor. He's like, he knows everything.
He's on this.
Well, he's also worked at an adult store too.
Oh, that's true. He has two legs up on you guys
for like 6 years.
He knows all.
He's heard it all. This movie tore my vagina. Okay, so, and the perfect follow-up, one more question, and then we'll move on to elimination. When asked what the biggest fear in trying a new sexual position, The majority of people, this is all over, the majority of folks answered with this. A, I'm afraid I'll hurt my partner. B, I'm afraid I'll hurt myself. C, I'm afraid I won't be able to pull it off. Or D, I'll go to hell. All over the world, both genders.
Every one of these is great. You did a good job on this, sir.
Thank you.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things just isn't the same. Going to hell.
You're going to go with Christ. Go to hell?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Lyle, what say you?
That would be in the top. I mean, that's what popped out at me was that. But because you're talking worldwide, man. There's a lot of religions that are real no about sexual positions.
Yeah.
And sex in general.
Oral sex is a sin in a lot of religions. Anal, absolutely. But even oral, even hand jobs. Any sex that's not for procreating is a sin in a lot of main religions.
No. But I'm going to go with hurting your partner because I just believe that, there's more people that care about their partners than, going to hell. Religious.
Yeah. We would hope, but you never know.
You'd like to think so.
You would like to think so. Christopher, what say you? This is your chance to maybe get in the running here.
This is why I hate this. Let me tell you why. I love Lyle's choice because I like that answer. I think John Mark chose correctly because religion fucking blows and there's so much of it everywhere. But I know my only hope here is to actually get some points, and I'm not gonna go John Mark's path. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit and go with C. Because there's so much self-doubt in this world. And I think that restricts a lot of people.
Well,
you don't have a little Adam Sandler on your shoulders.
Well, in this case, you guys all had good guesses. I was so happy that somebody went with my red herring of they were afraid that they would go to hell. It was on the list, but it was very, very small. Overwhelmingly, 80% of the response was they were afraid that they were going to hurt their partner.
Nice.
So Lyle got a point. Yeah, I'd like that because that's the kind answer. Okay, now switching off. We're going to go through this a little bit quick here. This is anybody's game still because John Mark has 3, Lyle has 1, Christopher has 1. But some of these are going to be worth a lot because this is the elimination. And you know what? Maybe what I'll do here. Well, no, let's see how this goes because we'll just do this for a few rounds. I was going to give you all the answers on the top 10 and you guys pick which ones are, because some of these you're never going to guess, but I'm curious to see what you do guess. So let's try that first. Now this is men. This is just men all around the globe were polled with what they most wanted to do that they hadn't done. So this isn't one particular country. So all around the globe, we have the top 10 answers for what sexual act do you want to do that you have never done? And you're going to want to get the top if you can, of course, because that's worth 10 points. And the last one is worth 1. So we're going to stick with this order. So John Mark, you get the first chance here. What do you think the number one thing worldwide men wish they could try?
Well, I'm going to go with the thing that I've probably been warped into thinking that people want to do because of my time in the salt mines of an adult video store. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to say anal.
Anal is a good guess, but not number 1. It is actually number 2, but that just earned you 9 points.
Dang.
Anal is off the table. Lyle, what say you?
I'm going to go with a 3-way.
A threesome is actually not on this list, which really shocked me. I feel like that's... Okay. I feel like I would believe that that's the number 1.
Right.
But maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not appealing to, well, obviously I'm wrong because...
Are some of these positions? I mean, are a lot of these positions? That's fair to ask.
100% of this list are positions. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, anal. I guess you could call anal a position, but that's yeah. I mean, anal and the like. Right. I mean that. Yeah. I don't know how to answer that any other way.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly positions.
I'm gonna go with reverse cowgirl.
Reverse cowgirl is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Damn.
Worth 6 points.
Okay.
You're still in the running. That takes you to 7. And Lyle whiffed on that one. So we are back to John Mark.
I'm gonna go with legs up missionary.
Legs Up Missionary is number 9 and is worth 2 points. It was there. So you had 12. That brings you to 15. Lyle, what say ye?
I'm not. I'm going on the majority wise here.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I'm not sure how like you guys lost your virginity or how you came across your life in a sexual way. But most people start off kind of like, orally or whatnot, and before they get laid, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm going to go with 69 or oral. Slash oral.
Okay.
I think like there's a lot of guys that went out there and then just did it, got laid, whatever. And it was like, God damn, you know what? I should have took my time with that. I should have,
I think you're right. I got into oral more later on. There was oral. There was definitely oral going on in my early years, but it wasn't something that I really appreciated until later on. So I think there's some truth in that. Good Anna Lyles, and it's only worth 3, but it's there. 69 was number 7. So, number 8. But that's worth 3 points, which brings you to 4. And that still leaves our, 3 out of our top 5.
I'm just kind of guessing here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm based off of being a bit shocked, but cowgirl?
Cowgirl did not make this list, which is interesting because it was on so many of the favorites on other people. But yeah.
Whiff. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Big whiff. Back to you, John Mark. We'll do a couple more rounds here.
The spooning style.
Spooning style is number 10, and that bumps you from 15 to 16.
Damn.
But you are getting quite a few of these. Wow.
So did we do? How about the wheelbarrow? Nobody's talking about that.
Well, there you go. Wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow is number 5, worth 7 points.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Hell.
The wheelbarrow is classic, but not something I would guess everybody's done.
It's Chris. It's where you stand up and you grab.
No, I know it's the wheelbarrow. I was gonna ask. Can you give me what we've already done? I'm losing track of what's available because we kind of talked about some things.
Okay. We've done anal, wheelbarrow, otherwise known as kneeling wheelbarrow, but there's really only one wheelbarrow. Reverse cowgirl. 69, legs up missionary, and spooning.
Okay, I'm gonna go doggy.
There you go. Doggy style is number 7, worth 4 points.
Okay.
Which brings you to you and Lyle are now tied at 12. So quickly you can catch up with a kneeling wheelbarrow.
Metaphor.
Yeah, I will say this. Number 1. Well, no, I'm not going to give you any clues. I'm having fun just hearing what you guys guess. I'm glad I didn't give you the list of all the answers first. Okay, 12 to 16. So we'll do a couple more rounds here because it's still anybody's game. John Mark, you guys have named most of the obvious ones. There's some that, I've named on this list, 3 of them, or 2 of them that you haven't mentioned yet, and one that I had to look up because I didn't know the name of it, but it's something we've all done. I think most of us.
I'm going to go with standing.
Standing is number 6, which is worth 5 points. That takes you to 21. Lyle? Only a few left.
I'm already I think we already talked about them all, haven't we? I don't have a Kama Sutra book here.
Couple of obvious ones still there, especially because I've mentioned them.
So did we do missionary?
I don't know if anyone guessed missionary. Is that your guess?
Yeah, let's do that.
It's not on here. The legs up missionary was.
Oh, okay.
Dude, somebody
If
say
you haven't done
oral?
missionary, you haven't done sex. It'd be funny.
You haven't done much.
What are you even doing?
Yeah.
Did we already say oral? Oral?
Yeah, Lyle guessed oral. We went with 69.
Somebody say 69?
Yep.
Okay.
Did someone say?
The rusty trombone. Has anyone gone with?
Now we're getting to where I wanted you guys to start guessing. No, I will say that there's nothing quite that extreme.
But I'm digging worms and feeding that bird for you.
And we haven't done that either.
Oh.
That's a perfect follow-up to Rusty Trombone.
The baby bird. Have you ever done the baby bird before?
Never done a baby bird, never dug for worms.
How about the screaming seagull?
I had two of them.
Fuck, dude, I'm sorry. I'm blanking again. How many we've done here?
Well, I think your last guess was what? Oh, you guessed the Rusty Trombone. That's your guess, right?
No, I was kidding. But
okay.
Fuck.
Let's do one more round after this.
Hand job?
Ooh, good guess. Not on the list.
Damn.
Okay, last round.
Oh.
All right, well, there's only 3 more. Let's just do them all then. Or if you don't get them after a couple more rounds, I'll
just give. I think I got one last guess in me. So.
Okay, let's do one last round then. John Mark. Number 1, still on the board.
I have another guess.
And I said it at least twice. Yeah, go ahead.
Standing 69.
All right. Well, he just put it to bed there. That is number 1.
Not even in my wildest dreams is that something I aspire for. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do that. We'll stand in a hole, dude. You can suck my dick while you munch and we'll just try not to die.
I think it's something that you just do like maybe one time in the spur of the moment because you're like caught up in the moment.
Sure.
But it's not something that you're like, let's do this all the time.
Can we even do it?
Maybe it's like a power thing.
Not everybody could.
So powerful.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not a crazy fan of 69ing because there's too much going on. It's just like, this is focus. Let's consolidate. It should be the most beautiful act. But because, it's like on the one hand, it's like, well, we're taking care of each other, but so is fucking. And that's way more consolidated and way less going on. And you can enjoy it all. I don't know. It's fun to do every now and again.
Actually, oral separated them from the 69. You know what I mean? Like
oral for sure I'm into. But 69ing, it's like, you take your turn, I'll take mine.
Yeah, it's a little more intimate, I think, that way.
Yeah, everyone should do it, though. I mean, it's one of those things that everyone should 69 at least once.
Yeah.
Maybe it is your thing. I don't know. Okay, so real quick, before we get on to news quiz or weird trivia, I think a lot of people might be wondering, how did women answer these same questions? So real quick, starting with 1 and ending with 10. Tabletop, which was on the list for men, which you guys didn't guess. Now, I didn't know the name of tabletop, but the reference is just like you're fucking somebody missionary style, but on a table. So you're like on the edge, which you can do with the bed. Down. It's a good position. Very popular with the ladies, probably because of the clitoral stimulation, your possibilities there. I think that's what that position is really, known for. Number 2.
On a kitchen countertop,
I was kind of saying, it really is more about countertopping. Now, number 2, I was kind of surprised with. This is for women again. Kneeling wheelbarrow. So they like being the borrow. That seems more, I don't know, for some reason it seems like that'd be more of a giver enjoyment than a taker enjoyment. Because, I don't know, just imagine like putting all your weight on your hands and... It seems uncomf. Yeah, if you got to be buff for that one. But that's number 2. Although this is things that, they want to try, not things they necessarily love. Number 3 is 69 standing up. So they're curious about that too. 4, straight up standing. 5 was reverse cowgirl. 6, legs up missionary. 7, doggy style. 8, 69, 9, missionary. That was on their list. And so found interesting. And like men, spooning style, taking up the caboose, coincidentally. So there you have it, folks. You weigh in with us. You tell us how you like it and how you want it. I am
also
curious.
Tell us how many of you stop listening to go rub one out halfway through this.
Yeah, hopefully it was before talking about vaginal tearing and dick fractures.
Right in the middle. Gotta go.
It's like, ooh, this is doing it for me. It's weird, but it's doing it for me. Hey, no judgments here on your kinks.
Ding, 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 ding.
And I do mean kink. Well,
so John Mark smoked us.
John Mark smoked you on that one. It started out 3-1, and yeah, it was that number one. But you see, that could have been anybody. Whoever got that number one, I think, well, maybe he won anyway. But he decidedly whipped out his unfractured cock and slapped you both across the face. He wheelbarrowed you guys.
It was a surprise to me because you had just said, like, it's something I mentioned, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, seriously? Like,
yeah.
Is that something that people really want to try? Like,
he had us in a stand in 69. He just piled right.
It's like, this is going to be one of those CSI cases. Mm-hmm. Well, quick recess, and then yeah, right back. And there was only one. Okay, let's get on to weird trivia. I'm trying to light my pipe here, but holy shit, it's 100 degrees still.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like in your guys' neck of the woods, but Lyle and I are in the devil's butthole right now. So let's try to get a refreshment here with a win from Ron.
Well, that would be 2 in a row if I'm not mistaken, because last week you took it, buddy. Or last time we played, at least.
I'm so used to losing, I don't even remember when I do win.
We've had a nice flurry of new commenters on our Facebook stuff, so thank you for everyone that's doing that. Ron, you're going to be playing for Steve Scotland. You'll be going first.
That is a new name.
John Mark, you're going to be playing for Sean Christopher Casper. Man with 3 names that need to be said.
That fits because John Mark Pitts has 3 names too.
That's true. Well, there you go. And Lyle, you're going to be playing for our old pal Russ McCaw.
All right, Russ.
He's been with us a while now too.
He really has. Okay. Y'all ready for this?
Speaking of Marky Mark. Wait, is
that wasn't
Marky
Mark, was it?
No. Okay.
That was CNC Music Factory.
Oh, he did the good vibrations. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's easy to get those two mixed up.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
No, I think you're right.
Okay, guys, we're going to start things off with a listener-submitted story. Huge thank you to Brandon from the Seahawkers podcast for sending this one over to me. And side note, I've been listening to a lot of content that he's been producing, and that guy turned into a fucking pro. Let me tell you, man, he can tell a story for football now. He knows how to take clips of interviews and set them up with a perfect little 5-second narrative that puts you in the right state of mind to understand what the fuck Pete Carroll is about to tell you about a rookie we just got. It's really fucking cool.
Well, they're a popular podcast, right?
And he's also branched off, and he's doing some other stuff with other producers and whatnot.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's really cool to watch what he's been doing. If you like the Seahawks at all, and obviously you like podcasts because you're still fucking here, check out the Seahawkers and then some really great content. Anyways, thanks, Brandon, for sending this in. I love this story.
I'm glad he's still listening.
Yeah, me too. He messaged. He will take some time and catch up, and then he'll be catching up and messaging me. It's great.
I think that's about most people are doing it these days.
Yeah, even me. 2x speed sometimes, Ron.
Yeah. I'll have to try that. I haven't listened to. I can't do that. I get the benefit, but I just can't do it.
1.5 works for me sometimes if I really got it. Sometimes I'm like, I know I gotta listen to that. All right.
Yeah.
As you know, listener-submitted stories are worth 2 points. But wait, there's more. This story also is a Florida Daily Dubs.
Holy shit.
I don't think it's ever happened before. Now, I'm not going to make it worth 4 points because that's fucking ridiculous. But we're going to make it worth 3 points just for shits and gigs. Sure. So, 3 points on the line for this one question,
so
guys.
Weird. I just put up a rerun. I hate to interrupt. I put up a rerun where you did
I haven't got through it yet. I'm halfway through.
A Florida Daily Dub that paired with something like this that made it a 4-point question.
I did do it that way. Wow.
Well, I don't know. We weren't doing listener submitted questions, so it must have been something else, but it's weird. And we just talked off air about an incredible coincidence that just occurred. So synchronicity, man. Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 3 points, guys. A 77-year-old Florida woman was arrested and faces battery charges after police say she threw a burger at a Burger King employee before calling her several racial slurs.
Oh, no.
Turns out the woman was upset about this. What caused this? Was it A? She was upset that they would not give her 20 straws for her single Diet Coke.
Well, customer's always right.
Was it B? She was upset about the non-binary bathroom signage they had installed.
Okay, it's a growing issue.
Is it C? She was upset about the thickness of the slice of her tomato in her burger.
That'll piss anybody off.
You got to dial that in. You got to dial that in. Yeah.
Or was it D? She had requested a burger with chocolate milkshake substituted for ketchup, which was refused.
Oh, God. Could you just repeat the question real quick?
Yeah.
It's already tough.
A 77-year-old Florida woman was arrested and faces battery charges after police say she threw a burger at a Burger King employee before calling her several racial slurs. What was her issue? She was upset about the fact that they wouldn't give her 20 straws she asked for. She was mad that the non-binary bathroom signage had been installed. She was upset about the thickness of the tomato in her burger, or she had requested chocolate milkshake substituted for the ketchup on her burger, and they said no.
20 straws. That sounds like fuckery. But the customer is always right, by the way, is a phrase that needs to die. A Viking's funeral.
I saw 20 straws open for 3 Doors Down in 95. Straws.
Yeah, I think it's having your own way. So it's like,
Oh, that's true. This is Burger King. Yeah, well, that feeds into where I was going, which was I think that maybe the tomato slice was a little bit off. And that was not having it your way. Although I guess any of these would be considered not having it your way. So I'm going to go with tomato slice.
Solid C here. Tomato slice.
Too thin.
Okay. John Mark.
I'm gonna go. I want to go with the tomato slice as well, because it seems like that would be something that you would get mad at after the fact, after you received your burger. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I wonder what most people would complain about, like having too much tomato or having not enough. Because I would be pissed if I got like a super thinly sliced one, like some of those economy ones that you can see through it. I'd be pissed. Give me some mater. Kiss a mayo.
Okay. I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. When I get too
much. Yeah,
too much.
Because then you can't enjoy any of it. Yeah.
Exactly. You take a bite, and then when you pull away, that fucking tomato comes out with it, and then you got a mess. It's all over the place.
Tomatoes are dividers, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with tomatoes.
Tomatoes and wiping.
Oh, tomatoes across the board. I'm sorry. Did I fuck up your order? Was I supposed to go first? I just kind of went in.
Yeah, you won last week, so you went first.
Okay.
Yeah, you're first. I did it. You did it just the way I wanted you to, baby. Okay. Question 2. Oh, snap. You guys fucking know how I feel about reboots. You know I love the idea of a reboot so much, even if most of the time it comes out as kind of a dog shit experience. Last week, it was announced that this actor is set to take up the mantle of Duncan MacLeod. That's right, bitch. We're talking about Highlander. We're getting a fucking Highlander reboot, and I couldn't be more excited about it. It's not a moment too fucking soon, in my opinion. I'm really fond of this franchise. I enjoyed the TV show. I enjoyed the movies. Christopher Lambert, R.I.P. Wait, is he dead?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Well, R.I.P.
Maybe his career.
R.I.P.
This was pretty widely spread news, so I'm sure this might be a grand slam all around. But who is the man that they have cast? There can be only one. Who is it? Is it A, Chris Pratt, B, Robert Downey Jr., C, Tom Hardy, or D, Henry Cavill? What do you got, Ronster?
I don't know that last name.
Henry Cavill? He was in Superman. He was most recently The Witcher.
Well, that one I don't know, but you love Chris Pratt, so I'm going to say you threw that in there.
Oh, get fucked! I do love Chris Pratt though.
Let's see, Tom. I like the idea of Tom Hardy. I mean, that's a badass character.
Yeah, for sure.
My brain is breaking because I'm pretty sure Highlander also came up on the last podcast. The rerun that I put up.
No kidding.
But you know what's even weirder is like you brought up reboot. I'm pretty sure that like in a 10-second spiel, I predicted Cobra Kai a year before it came out because I was talking about, if there's a Karate Kid show where it's like it was all about their kids. Like if you had Ralph Macchio's kid,
no, I haven't got there yet.
It goes like 5 seconds by, but it's like, holy shit, they did that. I don't know. There's too many synchronicities happen right now. It's bugging me out, but I'm gonna go with, Mr. Hardy.
Okay,
he could do it.
John Mark.
So Duncan MacLeod. So he was the main. He was the Highlander character, right?
Yeah.
That's correct. So to be fair, no details have been revealed other than that this actor is going to be in it. So it's only can be assumed that they're going to be the main. Yeah.
So the actor. Okay. Shit. I want to go with either Tom Hardy or, what's the Witcher guy's name? Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill, yeah, or Cavill.
Jeez, I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with Henry.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm with John Mark. I think the guy's, he's making his footstep, and once you get, popular in a few movies and a few shows, you step up. And
it's a tough call between him and Tom Hardy, though. I mean, I got to say.
Tom Hardy, I don't know.
You'd watch them both, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Tom Hardy is a fucking chameleon, man.
He's versatile. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. His range is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 3. A Texas woman made news a few weeks ago with her strange tale. She was sleeping in her apartment one night and was awoken by the strange sensation of water splashing her face.
Yeah,
she roused her. Yeah. She roused her. What'd you say?
R. Kelly.
It was R. Kelly. Yeah, I believe I can drip.
Drip, drip. I believe I can dry.
She roused herself and in the dark could tell there was a leak coming from the apartment above her. It was dripping down onto her ceiling fan and dispersing about her bedroom. So it was whatever. So she got up quickly and turned on the lights to assess the sitch. Not long after, she discovered that it wasn't water at all that was dripping into her apartment. It was this. No. I can hear Rod sweating. I can hear the sweat. Drip, drip. Well, it starts lighter. And gets worse. Is it A? Was it ranch dressing?
Oh.
Put a little on the side.
Leaking? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Economy size.
Was it B, KY jelly?
You better watch out because you're going to get lubed.
There's the time.
Was it C, raw sewage?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to smell real icky like a poop.
Yeah.
Drip, drip.
I knew that was coming.
Or was it D, blood?
Fuck.
Oh, no.
Fucking loud song went from the groovy beat. Just
no.
Give me plug it with a little bit of cotton, baby.
Wow, ranch is so fucking from left field that I'm tempted to go there.
Yeah.
KY runs at such a
Gooey.
It will seep. You gotta know it'll seep. I'm torn between what's worse. Sewage and blood. I think blood. I think I'd rather have blood than sewage, right? Across the board. Not by much.
There's a lot of diseases.
But piss and shit. Yeah, there's disease and everything.
No.
My heart wants to go with ranch dressing just from the kookiness of that headline, but I got to go with the brown herring, and you knew I was probably ultimately going to. Go with Rasu.
I saw Rasu open up for MXPX1.
Is that Rasu up there? That'd be an amazing name, Ross Hooage.
No, Rasu for sure.
I would shorten it to Rasu.
Rasu. Just simply.
Ross Huge. I got to do something with that character title.
Ross Huge.
John Mark.
That's going to be my guess as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be ranch.
Yeah.
It's going to be blood.
You guys know that I actually spent 7 hours yesterday fucking unclogging my parents' fucking basement.
Ross.
With Ross Huge?
And it was Ross.
And it was Ross Huge. Hell of a plumber name, right?
You know,
you got a leak. You call one guy and one guy only. Ross Huge.
Here he was the shittiest Egyptian god.
In this case, that's what you want.
Ross.
You want the plumber that shows up
in
covered in shit.
Okay.
You did say it was a apartment, correct?
Was apartment? Yeah, an apartment, correct?
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, see, that kind of throws it off because, like, most apartments have wet walls and they have only the plumbing running on a certain. I don't think it would be going through her bedroom.
Yeah.
Unless
interesting insight.
Unless there's a bathroom.
Which line went first?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
a refrigerator for storing ranch, on the other hand, could be right above your bed.
I'm going blood. I bet you there was a murder or something above, and then it was just seeping.
Jesus Christ! Could you imagine?
Scary as fuck.
It's gotta happen.
On the lights.
It's gotta happen.
But blood splatters all over the walls and ceiling. It'd be horrible.
Okay, well done. Let's see.
There's so many. There's a story behind no matter what happened.
Oh yes. Okay. Question 4. In a recently published study about COVID-19, it was shown scientifically that men in this category are 2.5 times more likely to suffer severe COVID-19 symptoms, which we all know is where we get into trubs. So this is scientifically proven. Men in this category are 2.5 times more likely to suffer the severe COVID-19 symptoms. Is it A, men who are drastically shorter than the average male? Is it B?
It takes less time for it to process through the body.
B, bald men.
Oh, shit.
Bald. Get that high testosterone.
I ain't rooting for them shits, Ross.
Is it C, men with ADHD?
Okay.
Or is it D, men who suffer from extreme sleep apnea?
Oh, okay. Boy, I'm tempted to go with the short guy, but sleep apnea, that's a rough life. And we all know that if you don't get enough sleep, that fucks your immune system. So that alone could put you at a disadvantage. I'm going to go with that. Sleep app.
Okay, interesting. John Mark, what say yay?
Dang it, Ron. I'm going with all your answers because they are the ones that make the most sense to me.
Well, listen, that gives me a good shot. We all know that I got a better chance at a tiebreaker.
I've been working really hard on coming up with creative tiebreakers, so never so bad.
I'm going to go with that, the sleep apnea as well.
Yeah. Okay. Got to go with what you want to go with.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we all kind of know this. The whole COVID thing is, getting affected, and it's basically you drowned, in your own lungs. Sleep apnea is the same thing. You don't breathe, so there's times at night you just quit breathing. So I'm gonna go with the sleep apnea too.
Grim.
Excellent. Okay. Let's see here. I have to do some compiling points. Talk amongst yourselves or hum a song.
Well, I will say concerning the shit leak that happened over. Well, Chris, maybe we talked about it before. You stayed in the old El Mundo building, the apartment, adjacent to the Wenatchee World, the newspaper here. For a while, they
Palace in the Sky.
They sold it a while ago, but they owned the building, so they had an apartment above the office space, and a lot of former Wenatchee World employees stayed there as they were moving from another town and getting situated. That apartment sprung a leak in its shit pipes, and it dripped all the way down into the office space down there. I can't remember if anyone was renting it at that point, but that legitimately happened.
Gross.
Yeah,
it's a real life scenario.
I've got us all tabulated here. Let's go over the answers and see how you guys did.
Okay.
Now, we started this off with something interesting, a 3-pointer. Not very often we see that. Turns out maybe once every 4 years. We don't know.
Yeah, it was 4 years ago.
A 77-year-old Florida woman was arrested after she got into a bit of a spat with a Burger King employee. She was upset about the thickness of the slice of her tomato. And you guys had that down. I couldn't fool you. I couldn't fucking fool you. That was what drove her into a frenzy that ended with her throwing a burger and some racial slurs towards the Burger King employee.
Good God.
Yeah. And she looks terrible in the photo. She looks like exactly like the nightmare you imagine her to be. So you all got that correct for 3 points a pop.
It's the customer. Oh, that's interesting. It's the customer is always right philosophy that has been ingrained in so many people's heads. And we see it around this time, especially holidays, vacation. People are like, this is my holiday. So you are here to literally make me. People want, like, the servers who are often getting paid minimum wage. Maybe they get tips, maybe they don't. And busting their fucking ass. They want them to be their fucking slave. They want them to bring them whatever they fucking request because of this bullshit customer is always right mentality. It needs to be done away with. It needs to die.
Yeah. I agree.
Customer is usually a fucking cunt. And then they rarely tip well. So then you're just down to a minimum wage person who is sweating their fucking ass off in a pandemic, dealing with all these, twats.
Okay.
Fucking tomato. Shove it up their fucking ass.
Question 2. Reboot, motherfuckers. And we're talking about Highlander. And I love where this is going. I can hardly wait. I enjoy who they selected. And we were talking about Henry Cavill. John Mark and Lau got that correct. We already know he can swing a sword. If you've not watched The Witcher, you should, Ron. It's pretty good.
I had missionary 2 legs down on that one. I didn't even know that actor's name.
He's great. I think he's really versatile, other than the fact that I feel like he might be getting cast type a little bit here, as one going from one sword swinging role to the other. But hey, I'll watch it. I like him.
Witcher's still going? Is that a series
season 2 is about to. Well, season 2 probably won't drop till 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious if the old episodes would actually hold up. It's been so long. It's kind of like Magnum PI.
When did that come out?
Again and seeing if it was.
You mean Highlander?
Yeah, the reason.
Oh, it totally doesn't hold up. Those effects,
the
especially.
Movies might, right? Oh, well, yeah.
The movies are pretty good.
You got Sean Connery in it and shit. That first Highlander was great.
I'm pretty sure that I watched all of those.
The first one is a classic.
A while ago. No, don't misunderstand me. Like Dune is a classic, but that shit don't hold up.
No, that's fair. I watched it for y'all recently.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about more.
There's shit in Back to the Future that doesn't hold up, but
the
still
TV
classics.
show. Well, the TV show is kind of like True Blood. You know what I mean? So like they'd have the now, and then they'd have the back in the past.
Yeah, that was great. I enjoyed that. We'd show them like in the Civil War and shit. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
They do that with Dark Shadows a lot too, which John Mark is watching now.
I wonder if it'd hold up to rewatch.
I do too. Probably not. Who was his name? Adrian? No, the actor from
I don't remember.
Shit, I can't remember either. Anyways, okay. Well,
Christopher.
good job,
that wasn't Christopher.
No, that was
the movie. Christopher. Keep wanting to say Plummer. I know it's not Plummer. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, excuse me.
God, maybe I never saw the show.
The show was great. What the fuck was his name? I liked it. It had the Queen song at the beginning because Queen scored like a lot of Highlander, I think.
What? Oh, the movie.
The first movie, but
they used
TV show
in the show too. Yeah, the credits was a Queen song. It was great.
Was that like a Fox show?
I can't remember. I was a fucking 12-year-old when it was on.
Check his name real quick.
Adrian Paul.
Adrian Paul.
He was Duncan MacLeod.
Yeah.
It was a great show because Lyle's exactly right because it would take you back to because he was an immortal, so he'd lived through all these crazy times. It would take you back to him, and he'd have like different fucking hairstyle and shit.
Well, I really liked him. I liked him as the character.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
He was fit in all those roles. where you know, it was highly acted, so he would go back in time and he was able to, you know, like fence or whatever.
Yeah.
Christopher Lambert was the movie.
Lambert. I was just gonna say it.
What do you guys remember? I'm surprised by this. Do you remember what year the movie came out? The original one?
Oh my God! If I had to guess, I'm gonna say 87.
You guys want to take a guess?
86.
Come on.
Something like that. 86, 87.
Yeah, 86. Man,
Wow.
I really would have put it more closer to 88, 89. Time. It's an illusion.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
a Texas woman made news a few weeks ago when she was sleeping and she felt the sensation of water hitting her face. And so she's like, what the fuck? She wakes up. She realizes immediately that something is leaking from the apartment above. Thinking it's like plumbing at this point, no big deal. She hops out, throws the blankets off, hitting the fan and dispersing throughout her whole fucking apartment. Flicks the light on. It's fucking blood.
Hitting the fan.
All
splattering.
over her apartment.
Yeah,
So
just
she calls.
splattering,
So
spreading
she
everywhere.
calls the fucking. First thing she does is she calls the apartment complex and she's like, "Bros, like it's like fucking blood leaking down on me." And the guy's
Holy
like, "Are you
shit.
sure?" And she's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Okay." And so they come and they fucking open up the apartment above her. Her neighbor died, right above her ceiling fan,
God.
and had been there for
Real
7
corpse
or 8
blood.
days, and he just was disintegrating into the floor.
No.
Now, Ronster, knowing now what you know, and you said I'd rather it be blood than
don't know,
than
man.
sewage. Do you? Yeah.
About the same.
I think I would still prefer it to be corpse blood than.
Oh,
I think you're more likely to get something from piss and shit than you are blood.
I'd love to know somebody that knows more than us.
Yeah,
right?
some pathological or what is that? Yeah, pathology. Is that pathology?
Wow.
Someone that knows shit.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Ugh. So it got in her fan, was blowing shit. Did she?
She had to.
Did she
she's
get it,
living
like,
in a
on
motel
her?
right now. Oh yeah, it was. It was not. She had to fucking disinfect. She had to move
God.
all her shit out, and she's trying to get some compensation.
She's
from
going
the
to have to
hotel-
be
from the-
tested like every 6 months for some sort of pathological disease.
Again, yeah, or worse, something that fucking can be in blood.
Well, that's not blood anymore, man. That's coagulated fucking jelly.
Totally, it's body. It's just body.
Yeah. We've been in our water towers and big hotels, and we know what we're talking about.
Mhm.
That's nasty. Yeah,
God.
Lyle got that right. He's got a leg up now.
actually win for once.
Well, that's what. Yeah, you got. Well, there's another question still. We don't know.
Ugh.
Don't get ahead of the fucking cart. Lyle.
Well, that's true.
Sorry, I
Could
didn't
be
mean
a
to jump
tie.
again.
Question
I'm out.
4.
Sorry, Steve.
You don't know. We don't know. Yeah, you are. In a recent in a recent published study about COVID-19, it was shown scientifically that men who are bald
No.
2.5 times more likely to suffer severe COVID-19
Oh, dear. And here I've been living frivolously. I call
No,
bullshit.
you're
Without
wrong.
all that hair, I get so much more vitamin D from the sun.
Yeah, that's
It's like a
totally-
solar
yeah.
panel up there.
You should be
There you
good.
go.
I should be
I
I mean,
good.
you got your
Wow, huh?
vaccine, right? So you're all right. You're okay.
I'm half vaccinated, but you know what? I read I had to push back my second shot because I had too much going on in case it made me ill. But more and more, they're finding with the Pfizer shot that what they thought was 40 to 60% with the first one is now looking to be closer to 70 to 90.
that's great.
And I guess in Britain, they're starting to push that second shot closer to a month or even 2 months. Still new studies, but it sounds like maybe they were just being overly cautious with it. So I'm still going to get the second one, but I pushed it.
Second shot.
I don't know, man. I think that's where the microchip comes
just
in.
fucking get it. Just
Yeah,
get it,
full
Ron.
microchip.
I'm gonna. Hey, you fucking peer pressure me.
I just heard today about a bunch of people in my extended family that are not even getting any vaccine because they're fucking. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just fucking.
Well,
so
here's
mad
the thing:
about
the
it.
vaccine rate at this point is high enough. I think that it's going to carry the fucks. Not that they, will be able to celebrate in any of that, but they, all the fucks that didn't want to get it. I think that they're so outnumbered at this point. If the rate continues, that I think it sounds like they are positive that it's still going to be enough. But yeah, be nice, especially now that people are starting to not mask. I was just delivering the new issue of the Comet all over the middle of the state today. Ellensburg still seems to be masking in most places. Leavenworth was hit and miss. Wenatchee seems to be mostly still masking, but all the major places are no longer requiring it, like grocery stores and chains.
Even my casino last Friday was a huge change for us. We had to adjust
They
every
wouldn't
entry.
They wouldn't do that if they didn't think that we were pretty well on our way at this point. And if
Let me ask you a
if
question.
the people that aren't vaccinated get sick and die, I guess that handles that. I'm not wishing for that, but maybe that's going into their thought process. I don't fucking know.
I think I'm predicting this. I think that the government is going to offer a tax credit to people that got vaccinated. And I think that it's going to be, that's how they're going to do the vaccine passports, which will be an optional thing, like some kind of proof of vaccination. And then
I get a little nervous about some of this. I've gone along with more of this than I ever would have guessed, if I'm being honest, because I'm pretty skeptical about the government and some of these world organizations. But a lot of it's made sense to me, and I've gone along with what made sense to me. But this idea, like, I'm not showing my fucking vaccination card to the doorman at Wally's. So if they do want some sort of proof, that they're going to have to do some sort of thing that's not sharing your, I guess it's still sharing your personal medical information with fucking random utilitarian workers and strangers. I don't like that. I don't like that that's something that we're going to get used to, but this is a fucking weird time and it's a weird virus. So I'm still going along with it for the most part, but there are some things happening that are bothering me. And it's like, I don't know, man, how far are we going to go with this shit? Like, come on.
Put the old tinfoil hat on, but there's a lot of places, just grocery stores that local here that, hey, we give you free shot. And if you get it done, we'll give you 10% off your next purchase, groceries.
Well, I don't.
Why would you push it so far? You know what I mean?
I don't really see a problem with incentives.
It's because they're trying to get people to fucking get the goddamn shot. That's why.
Well, and they want to be open.
Our economy almost died.
State that has a lottery, win $1 million.
I think. It's trying to incentivize it.
They're trying to. It's not a conspiracy. They're just trying to get people to fucking do it.
Yeah, these are places that want people to get vaccinated because that means they're closer to opening.
Be open.
You come in and get a shot.
100%.
Because you can get more shots when we're 100% open. We don't have to do 50% capacity.
Did you guys see all these bullshit videos of the magnets? People putting magnets on their arm and they say, "Holy shit, it's sticking to the microchip."
These fucking idiots.
Yeah, and you know what it is?
Fucking troglodytes.
You wouldn't believe how many people are believing this.
Fucking book, man. You got oils on your skin that fucking make shit stick to it. Like, it's the fucking oldest trick in the book.
Bitch, I put a broomstick straight up and down 6 months ago. Magic's possible.
But I don't know. Well, maybe you would believe. I guess we'd all believe at this point. But I'm still shocked at how many people believe it. And they're like, holy shit, people doing it themselves. Look, I did it. I grabbed a magnet. I was like, come on, fuck off. Put it all over the place. Strongest magnet I could find.
Do you know that you can hang spoons off your face?
Yeah, we used to do this with coins. You put a coin on your fucking forehead.
So the oil.
I didn't even get that to stick. I couldn't. It's just bullshit. And the people that put out those first videos, they were put the task on it. And of course, they couldn't replicate it outside of their own controlled video. But it's just like, when is this all going to stop? I just want it to stop. I want all sides of it to just fucking stop. It's just such a weird fucking time, man.
Our country's full of a bunch of fucking morons, man. That's true.
God, it's so fucking crazy. It's so crazy.
Anyways,
but I am starting to get afraid that we're going to go too far in the other fucking direction, and that we're just going to sell our fucking souls to the idea of going along with it, and that's not right either. It's like we have such a hard time with just doing the common sense amount of thing, and it's like I've gone along with it because I felt like it was common sense, and the more things that I read, it's like, okay, you're starting to push this. How far are we going to fucking go?
Dude, we've been doing bullshit things since before 9/11. But if you want to like go back to something like fucking 9/11, like fucking taking your shoes off in the airport, all that kind of bullshit, we've been doing all this shit for a long time. It's nothing new.
I suppose. It's all incremental, though. If you look at it at one point, we all started just going down this road. That's the skeptic in me. Overall, I mean, I got half the fucking vaccine in me, so obviously I'm not like conspiracy minded about it. But
do you feel relieved, a bit more relieved, knowing you have some protection?
Oh yeah, 100%, and more so. I mean, reading those stories, like the Pfizer. I haven't read this about the Moderna, but the Pfizer. More and more. Like, I mean, do your own research. It's more and more looking like that first shot at least does a pretty good job of vaccinating you. The second shot seals the deal. And being bald, even more incentive to go get that second shot. So
go get it, baby.
I've been bald for 20 years.
Speaking of the one of those questions there, back to News Quiz. So Russ McCaw is our winner this week, and that means we are ready for our next championship.
That
and
means
I'm
I
so
better
excited
send off the first two winners.
John Mark has promised
a
creme de la creme of a prize for this. It's his turn.
Oh,
and he won't shut up about this prize. He's going to get the winner. I'm really excited about it. So upcoming in our next recording, when we record next. When we record next, it's something I think he's been holding on to from his sex workshop days.
Oh, baby.
Sounds like you're volunteering him for something.
A relic from the past or something. I don't know. But he's not really, he's very discreet.
Sure.
But we will have Ben Morhaime, Ron Compstein, and Russ McCaw in the championship.
So we don't know what the prize is yet.
No, John Mark hasn't told. He just says it's great.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And I promise you all, I will send out those other prizes. Here's the thing.
Oh, wait. Did Jeff get his prize? Do you know Jeff Hall?
He didn't. I know about it. Jeff just hasn't gotten it. Jeff has not gotten his haul. Here's the thing. All of these things are in a room that, you know what? I'm going to take a photo of it. I'm going to take a photo of it. No, it's just Ron is a crazy old man. And this room has just turned into a fucking disaster. There's no longer a path. It reminds me of this house when I moved into it, and it was a crazy hoarder man. And that got me thinking, maybe this is like a Shining building, and I'm slowly turning into the dude who built it. But all the goods are in there, but we need more storage in this house. All of us living in this house need more storage. So I am dedicated to getting in there and cleaning out that room and organizing things. That's where all my paintings are for Ben to choose from. That's where all my goods are to send Jeff in a little rocket pack box. So many goods. I promise you are all going to get some good shit when you get it. Stuff that I would normally, the painting I would normally sell for $400 or $500. The box of goods, that's closer to, I'll pack it so that it's probably about $100 box of goods. That's a lot of goods. Little prints and some earrings and some kooky mini sculptures. Maybe we can't know. We just can't know. It will be coming. But yeah, I'm the worst person to put in task of shipping anything. Ask anyone. So once we get past those two shipments, we're gonna have to figure out something else. But I'm excited to see what John Mark's got up his sleeve or up something else, being tied to his time in the sex industry.
Yeah, so am I.
Can I mention those mugs that John Mark had made, and you've had them forever?
I'm sipping out of right now. I accidentally broke mine. I'm still sipping from Lyle's. I'll get it to you. There's such good mugs, man. I'm so sad that I broke mine. Oh, it's the perfect coffee mug because it's basically, I have one strong cup of coffee a day. I'm not like most Americans that seem to drink the shit all day long, but I do make it strong. And so it's a big cup of coffee, and it's the one cup that fits it. Anywho.
Well, there can possibly be more of those made, so don't worry.
Yeah. I was going to have her make me some tiki mugs at Radar Station, but I never got around to it. Ended up losing my space. But anywho, let's get on out of here. RadarStationArt@gmail.com. If you have some show suggestions, feedback, send us a voicemail. Pick up your phone, make a recording. It can be video. I'll snip out the audio. You can just face the camera somewhere else if you're shy and you don't want your face in it. We would love to hear your voices. I love listening to podcasts that have audio feedback. People just shooting the shit with us, sharing their own personal stories, and hearing that, just their own words of feedback in their own voice. Send that to radarstation.art@gmail.com. If you have suggestions for Christopher's weird triv, send that to christopher.bizarre@gmail.com. And if you just want to shoot us a little note, our Facebook Messenger is always open. But do interact with us on the page. Do leave a review, however you listen to it, and just tell a friend about it. Someone you think will dig what we're peddling here. And spread the gospel. Downloads are picking back up. That's exciting. I know it's the dead of summer, and that's kind of weird with listening to these sorts of podcasts. So do continue to spread our filth and tune in next week. 9/11, yo.
Finally,
it's happening to you. Towers. No, I better not go down. Good Lord. 20 fucking years. I can't get over it. 20 years this year.
Yeah.
9/11.
I don't like that at all.
20
That's weird.
Fucking years. Do you remember a time when 20 years?
We should do it. We should do it.
Well, we will. It won't be, and we'll make it clear. It won't. I'm not going to do a ton of research. Maybe I'll watch a couple documentaries, get caught up on the loose theories of it. It's not going to be a soup de jour type thing. It'll be a discussion, and it'll go any which way, and we'll have to put all kinds of warnings. It'll be more of more of a reflective. Why is that so hard? More of a reflective time, because Jesus Christ, 20 years ago. It's starting to feel like, I'm almost 45. Well, no, am I 45 now or about to be? Am I 46?
You are.
I lose track. It's funny how when you're about to turn 40 or 30. Well, the ones in the middle, they just, how old am I? But the further we go, now we got fucking COVID behind us. And we've had some crazy world crises behind us since 9/11, and you always think, well, this is going to be the craziest thing we ever see. 9/11 still holds up. It's still something that I think it's easy to take for granted that it happened and just remember certain images and video clips and some of the conspiracies. But yeah, for the most part, I think it's just going to be talking about the experience of being an American during that time. You know what I'd like to hear? I'd like to reach out to some of our non-American listeners, folks abroad, how they experienced 9/11. Be interesting to see what that was like when it wasn't on your soil. If it resonated in the same way, if it really stopped the whole world the way it did the U.S. Hard to know, but yeah, we'll do it. We will have a 9/11 show. God be with us. So stay tuned for that. Eventually, 9/11.
Two-parter.
Two-parter. Well, one for
Two-tower-parter.
Now. See, I almost went there. I showed restraint. And whenever I do.
Too soon?
Christopher sneaks in there.
You know me.
And just sinks my set. All right. Tune in next week, y'all. Be safe and keep an eye on your neighbors upstairs. Check in with them. Be nice to know that they're dead before they leak on you. That'd be nice. All right.
Check in with them before they check in with you.
They check out
via
over
osmosis.
You. Oh, we go through some things, man. That poor fucking woman. Just sleeping in her bed.
You can never unsee that shit. You know that.
She probably tasted it. She probably.
That's going to live with you forever.
Imagine knowing for sure that it's blood. She had to have tasted it or smelled it, or there's some things that could look like blood, but if you're sure that it's blood,
it could be his dick juice, it could be his intestines, it could be all of that together.
Dick juice. It's all of it. It's all of it. I mean, you leak evenly, I would imagine. Right? I don't know. Maybe your dick juice is the last to go.
Dick juice.
Dick juice. Okay, bye.
Now let's all enjoy a cool glass of dick juice, our sponsor for this week. Okay. Good night, y'all. Dick juice. Went there.
ain't y'all been ever just smothered by a bitch? I'm like, what are you talking about?